Look at all the rust that just comes off of this, and we're going to get breakfast. So I hate that.
Yeah.
It's been chained up for what? A week? Well, yeah. Before we went to the expo, right?
Yeah.
Expo, we got this like
a week and a half ago, maybe.
Was it the whole week before?
Yeah,
it was.
Sitting on the trailer.
It's been on here for 2 weeks then.
Haven't even looked at it.
Yeah.
Our terminal ends are bad.
Just from sitting out in the weather.
Yeah.
We need to do some TLC to this trailer. Tires are perfect, the air pressure is perfect, the grease is perfect. The jack we had a little bit of a problem with. The location of it, we caught something low. And it bent the jack, right? Or no, it bent the plate on the bottom of the jack. The jack still works. We're gonna reposition it like over here maybe.
Yeah. The wind.
A lot of guys do cutouts in the trailer. They find like a stud when you're cutting out a wall, sheetrock, or if you're looking for a stud to mount something. We're gonna find where the next stud is, where the next screws are, which is here. And almost make like in the middle where tires don't go, a removable plate, right?
Yeah. And
build a tray so we can put all the chains in the trailer. We've seen that from the couple shipping companies that we do. Instead of throwing them in the back of this truck, every single car is as well.
Yeah, I'd rather do it that way.
If we use a different truck, we don't want to worry about, oh, do we have all the chains and everything? They could be right here, but then we could possibly screw this whole thing. We could take the 3 of them out, or 4, put a piece of plywood underneath, and so they come out as a whole, or something like that.
Yeah.
Anyone have any ideas? We don't want to put a toolbox out front. We don't really want to have anything out front, so we can stand in the front when we're guiding people on, and we don't really want a box out front. Then someone can steal the chains too if we have it parked somewhere. This should get us going for another couple months, right?
Hopefully. Steve loves these terminal ends. He loves doing them.
Well, we do them on all our trucks, and they work until, say, you need to change your batteries in 3 years. Yeah,
they work. Yeah, every time. Yeah, they are.
You don't need to buy aftermarket terminals and rewire these trucks. You just need these new ends and cut a piece off of the wire and strip it. Yeah,
if you do it correctly, it works well. If a lot of people go wrong with these things, they don't tighten them down or something.
Like the 7.3 on the passenger sides, where all the juice from the driver's side battery comes over before it goes down to the starter and over to the solenoid. People are buying all these terminals and making all these connections. Just buy, these are the small version.
Yeah, there's
get the bigger version of it, and you can put a wire on the side if you want to. Most of it can go in here. There's more room on the bigger version, and we don't have any problems whatsoever.
Yeah.
I mean, if you take the batteries in and out and you're jumping all of these other trucks, the terminals
they're gonna wear out, but...
All right, we'll see what that does. Hold on a second. Did you just say 5.4 is a fantastic motor?
Yeah, no, it's a joke.
I'm gonna see. Yeah, I'm gonna. Hopefully, you were disagreeing on that.
What a fantastic engine! Look at this thing. They're pieces of garbage.
I mean, they're
not garbage, but
they last their mileage. Say people go, "Oh, this thing's a piece of junk. It's got 180,000 miles on it." Yeah, it's 15 years old. It worked its life.
Yeah, they're not bad motors. I mean, they do their job, but they had a lot of little stupid problems. And comparatively to like the 7.3, I mean, it's not even in the same ballpark. Well,
it's not even
it's not even comparison.
It's an engine, but it's not. There's no similarities other than they're in Fords.
Yeah.
But they have their spark plug issues, their exhaust manifolds breaking, and the bolts breaking, and the leaking. I mean, that's typical on all these. We've owned a couple, right?
Yeah.
They all tick.
They're underpowered.
Yeah, but they all tick in terms of what's wrong with them when we get them. They all have like broken spark plugs, and it's we got it for a good price. That's why it's sitting here in our driveway, surrounded by all these diesels.
Yeah.
Are you ready to head out?
Yeah. So, what are we getting today?
I forget the year, I think it's an 05, right? Or an 06.
Oh, yeah.
F350, that's a single cab with a Western Ultramount Plow pickup truck.
Yeah, it's a 6-liter.
Yeah, 6-liter. Listed as not running once again, which we know that's not going to be the case. It's probably going to be, batteries are dead,
I think
along the lines of that.
Yeah.
A couple pit stops to make first, but we're going to grab that and get it home.
We paid an unbelievable price for that one too.
Yeah, we'll tell you once we pick it up to see how good it looks.
All right.
What'd you get? First stop is Quick Check. Brick Fist. Off to our next stop. Look at that. Oh, that sounds terrible. Next stop though. Gotta go get a battery for that expedition, right?
Yeah, we shop local for just about every single part that we get for vehicles.
Yeah.
It's just, we're in a weird spot with this expedition. Let me get out and I'll tell this story real quick. Want your phone?
Yeah.
I mean, we buy all of our oils. You can buy your oils here for, say, $16 a gallon for diesel oil, or you can go to Napa and spend $17 or $18 a gallon. What's the difference? You're supporting a family versus you're supporting a big giant corporation. We'd rather support the family and buy our oil from there. That's what we do. Parts, brake pads, rotors, calipers, you name it. We have a great relationship with our local Napa Auto Parts. We spend a good amount of money per year on just maintenance items for all of this stuff. I'm coming here basically for paper towels and toilet paper for the house, but while we're here, we're gonna get the cheapest battery you can find for that expedition. Just because we don't know entirely what's wrong with the rest of it, we just know we need to start with the battery. And even if we end up not fixing the engine or whatever's wrong with it, we'll just keep the battery for the next project. But yeah, we were gonna get a couple other little miscellaneous things from here. Walmart's very convenient. It's just,
yeah, it's hard for like a flipping thing. You're not gonna flip something of low value like that and give them a $300 battery.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, but that's where we're at. These things pull all the top off, and then they leak every year.
Old water gallons.
You know what's funny? My now wife, Jenna, who was once girlfriend, lived, I mean, this is a really cool view, but she lived right on the other side of one of these mountains in like an apartment complex. And early on in dating her, when I stayed over the one night, I was going to pick up a truck the next morning with this exact setup you see here. And there was nowhere to park the trailer, and I was leaving at like 6 in the morning the next morning to go upstate New York. I parked it right behind that RV up against the guardrail. She picked me up here, we went to her apartment, and then she dropped me back off here at 6 in the morning because there's nowhere to, you were not allowed to park this there.
Yeah.
That was crazy. That just shows that was 4 years ago now almost, and here we are with the same setup like 40,000 miles later on this truck. Crazy. Funny thing is, Jenna watches just about all the videos and she hates this truck.
Yeah, the gold truck stinks. It's terrible. It's terrible riding.
See the airbags and the mud tires,
yeah.
It rides horrible.
Yeah.
And it had a 6-inch lift, right?
Yeah.
We always go back, is it a 4 or 6-inch lift? It was a 6-inch lift, which I took off. But now the big wheels, it still sits up kind of high. And she's short, she's like 5'5", 5'4", so she can't, I mean, she needs to pull herself in. The dogs can't launch themselves into the back, but at least Murphy can't. So it's a work truck. She hates it. I don't hate it because it gets the job done. We turn the key and ready? Let's turn the key and roll.
Yeah, let me show them the battery real quick. This is the cheapest battery you can get at Walmart for like a Ford vehicle. It's pretty standard, Group 65. They're 70 bucks. That's cheap.
Give them
They last about a year, but they work fine for the whole year. And like I said, it's a flip vehicle. And it doesn't cost that much.
Give our friends Napa a shout out if they watch any of our videos. We were there yesterday. Our F350 needed brand new batteries. They're Napa batteries that were in there, 2.5 years old, and it's getting cold. And it was just timed. It was just barely starting. So we put 2 brand new Napa batteries, and you can't beat 2.5 years. The amount of times we stop this thing over 100 times a week for 2.5 years, and the batteries are on their way out. Like, what do you want to get, 5 years out of the batteries? Like, it works.
Yeah.
So we went there. We spent, I think, $125 per battery, a little bit more, but we know that for the next 2.5 years we're trouble free. Like Jim just said, these batteries are cheap.
They have a 1-year warranty, and they make it 1 year. And
they're going in a flip vehicle that who knows what the next person's going to do with it. They might sell it too.
Yeah.
So of course you want to keep the cost low when you're flipping. You don't want to say like try and recharge the batteries or fill them with water to try and get them out the door so then the person gets home and then they don't start. You don't want to do that. But these batteries are brand new.
So you're probably wondering why we stopped at the bank. Well, it wasn't just for deposit or withdrawal or anything like that. We have some big news at the end of this video, so stay tuned for that. We had to actually make a physical trip to the bank. We don't do that a lot with all mobile deposits and all that nowadays. So we're gonna keep the big news till the end of the video about what's going on here and why we made a trip out to the bank, not for deposit reason or anything like that, just for business reason.
Yep.
So we'll keep that till the end of the video. But let's get on our way here. We got to go pick up this truck. Let's see what we got.
What time we got? 10 o'clock.
So we did all of our morning errands.
Yep.
And by the way, here we grinded the past 2 days and put in some really good days. So we're way ahead of leaf schedule already, and with the rate that the leaves are falling, we're in good shape. But that's why we're able to go out on a day like today and do this sort of stuff. But
what is it? It says it's 47. It's warmer than that.
Yeah, it definitely is. That's not right. I think it's in the 55 range or 60. Not 60. It's probably 55.
Now, yeah.
Here we go. We're pulling up on the truck now. They bought this as original owner back in 2005. Yeah, they do.
Jacked up in the back.
Yeah.
Light bulbs. They might work in the shop.
The door panel's off, but
What does the rocker look like on that side?
it actually looks, the bottom of it's a little bit, but not much.
This side's solid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
yeah, no, this is a nice plow. And underneath here is what it is. It's not that bad. It's pretty good.
right, give them the official rundown.
It's a 2005, right?
Yeah.
It's an F350 four-wheel drive, and it has the 6-liter diesel in it. And everybody's gonna say, oh my God, it's a piece of crap. The engine's complete garbage. Worst engine ever made. If you look it up, everyone says these things blow head gaskets like crazy. That's not true. It really isn't true.
Yeah.
They blow head gaskets if you don't catch it in the meantime of it blowing smoke out the tailpipe, and then you keep overheating it, and it keeps going and going and going. Then it blows the head gaskets. It takes a lot more than people think to blow the head gaskets in these things. What happens is the EGR cooler completely takes a crap, right?
Yeah.
And it just burns off the coolant.
Yeah.
And if you keep driving it, you're not noticing that you're pouring white smoke out. Drive it for days and days and days, you're gonna eventually blow the head gaskets, but most of the time it's not the head gaskets.
Yeah.
It's just, people say, here, 6-liter, oh my God, worst engine ever made. They're not hard to work on at all.
Yeah, they're not.
Guys,
and when you get to, well, you get to the point of throwing a tuner on the truck and doing all that, and you start blowing head gaskets quicker. Yeah, they have head gasket problems. They have head gasket problems. That's a proven fact.
But not every single time.
Yeah, not every single time is it head gaskets or a blown motor, which is what a lot of people assume, which is going to be the case with this one.
As people saw us at the landscape show last week, and people comment, oh, you guys are the 7.3 guys. Like, we are working our way into the 6-liters and the 6.4s and the 6.7s more. We've owned every single one of them. The 6.4, hands down, is the worst engine ever produced. That gives Ford its bad reputation on motors. What is that?
I don't know, a squirrel in the woods or something. Anyways.
Anyways, the 6-liters, everyone's 7.3 for 1994.
Yeah.
Not the IDI, the Power Stroke.
94 and a half, right?
Through 2003. All those years of like proven reliability and everything, and the 6-liter comes out and people are blowing head gaskets. They weren't blowing head gaskets right away. The EGR cooler was going bad and they were having problems with that, and then the head gaskets eventually went. I'd say what, 7 or 8 times out of 10 when we get these trucks, like the one sitting right here.
Yeah, we bought a ton of these, and everybody says head gasket, and it ends up being a bad EGR cooler.
Yes, we put a.
I'll tell you why the EGR cooler goes bad. Well, the later models are actually known to go bad more so than the earlier ones, which is contradicting the rest of the truck, I'll say. But the oil cooler goes bad first and gets clogged or whatnot, and the coolant passes through the oil cooler before it gets to the EGR cooler. So basically you have a suffocation of coolant getting to your EGR cooler. This is all over the internet, all of this information. But then your EGR cooler, what's it running through? Hot exhaust gas, and it ends up rupturing, right? And then every last bit of coolant is going to start to burn in there. And then it looks like a head gasket because it smokes like crazy.
But that's where you get to the part of if you have no coolant in it and you're still running it and it's still smoking, then your head gaskets will blow because it's now has no coolant, antifreeze in the system. Yeah. But as we see here, we're buying town trucks or trucks that are original owners, and they said they have head gaskets, they didn't run it hard. Townships, we know, work it. Every single person in the board that works for the DPW has been in this truck, and if it smokes out the back, they don't give a crap. They just go park and get another one. But as it sits here, it's technically an original owner truck. Yeah. It's advertised as the frame is rusty. Well, all frames that are almost 20 years old are quote-unquote rusty. You come look at the actual frame. Solid. The surface rust and dirt. This is the factory paint right here that's falling off. Yeah. The frame is solid. Yeah. It said the bed is shot, needs a new bed. Okay, the wheel wells are going. The cross members are shot. The bed doesn't line up because the front cross member, I looked underneath, they welded this weird bar in. Yeah. Like they welded this piece. Oh yeah. They tried to fix it. Yeah. We could pull this bed off and put new rails. Aftermarket rails on it would line up, and they throw a fender flare on it maybe, and then it's a fine bed. The floor's in good shape. These are Firestone Transforce tires. These tires are not cheap. Yeah. These are not the Wang Chung tires from China that you buy on Amazon. These tires are expensive. Yeah. Probably $1,000 for the set, $900 for the set, and they got really good life left on them. Coming around, the cab is also solid. The rocker is just starting to bubble, but it's not rotted through. It's just the step.
The step's bad.
The door's in really good shape. Like,
that's a
phenomenal
beautiful shape. Actually, it looks like they might have replaced this door at one point.
Possibly. And, but look at the rocker's not eating through like we've seen them all up in here. It's just starting to, the paint.
But the cab corners are just starting to bubble, but it's okay.
Not even bubble. There's no, that's not a bubble.
Paint bubble right here, right?
No. Oh yeah, whatever. But it's solid.
Yeah.
Usually it's this side that's it's the driver's side.
I think it's a lot of times it's, it depends. I don't know. You don't ever know what people are doing with the truck.
They definitely have a helper spring in the back for either a salter in the bed or for towing.
It had a lift gate.
A lift gate, okay, so that's why it's kind of pitched forward.
Which is funny, because the tailgate is, like, we've said this all the time with plow vehicles, the tailgate's the nicest part on it, because if they put a salter or anything else in the back, they never used it.
Yeah, the tailgate was sitting in the side for its whole entire life, and the tailgate looks perfect.
Yeah.
Come to the front.
Coil springs front end, obviously.
And it's also down because we have a chain down.
Yeah.
That's the side Jimmy tied down. That's kind of weird.
I didn't do that side.
The frame is spotless.
Yeah.
So they advertise it as the frame is rusted. It's not. Surface rust for 18, 19 years old, however old it is. This is nothing. 136,000 miles. Western. I think this is a 9-foot, if you can see. It's an 8.5.
8.5.
Western.
Okay. This is a nice plow.
And look at the frame. I mean, factory paint. It's a 2-plug plow. It works. The truck doesn't run, but the plow works. We had juice going to the battery. We had to put it on backwards because it wouldn't winch up the steep incline with the plow on, with the back of the truck being so lifted. But yeah, the plow's in like perfect shape. A couple bubbles on the plow. I mean that's
the plow itself. Well, we'll get there in a minute. The plow itself is worth double, I'll say, close to what we paid for the whole thing.
Truck. Look, perfect shape. This step fell off, but once again, look, usually you can push and you'll push right through and rust right through like some of the, I think my 550 is starting to, just a little bit, nothing crazy. But like, this is a plow truck. Ladies and gentlemen, a plow truck for almost 20 years. And it's not, right here, look, you can,
give me
there
one
it goes.
second.
This is the cab corner on the driver's side.
Yeah, there it goes.
That's it. Usually they're up to here for a plow truck from going in reverse and spinning and flicking all the salt and the road debris up into here. This is it, a little hole in the bottom.
Yeah.
Is this gonna affect the truck driving down the road? No. Can you even see this from the road? No. There's also cab corners where we've done before where you can cut out the entire cab corner, put an OEM cab corner in, weld it in, grind it down, and paint it to match.
Yeah, so then you can see where the body's not lining up because of the bed rail. This side needs to be fixed.
It's loose.
It's bad.
The floor's not bad.
Yeah, honestly though, these are not bad either.
It's not.
I mean, these are usually eating up to here.
We've seen way worse.
Yeah.
But you open it, right? This is the door that needs a
window. The regulator part with the gear, I think, is broken.
Glass is in good shape. The seals are in good shape. All the parts are here. It's just they took it apart and they didn't fix it because the townships just don't care. I mean, it's not bad at all.
That's not that bad.
The inside's clean. All the dashes, everything is in here.
Yeah, the panel's off, but it's in here. The seat's ripped, you know, getting in and out of the truck 100 times.
And we buy these from townships. We buy them from individuals. We buy them from businesses, you name it. No, we're not telling you where we bought them from because that's going to give our secret away.
Yeah.
But as you sit here, take a guess how much you think we paid for the truck with the plow, not running. 136,000 miles. Give you a couple more seconds. Think of the number in your head.
Wait, let me show him the tailgate before.
Hey, we'll count down.
Let me show him the tailgate before we. And
it came
so it's missing the trim, but the tailgate is actually really nice on this truck. You know, they all rod out back here, the whole bottom piece.
The back rack too.
And it came with the back rack. The mounts are in here for the lift gate, I believe, that they had right here.
Yep. But these is, what is this, rhino liner, is that what they call it?
Yeah, that's from the factory, I think.
But the bed is not...
Spray-in liner. The bed floor is in good shape.
It's not horrible.
Yeah. It's usable. It's got life left. It says way beyond taking this to the junkyard. This is way too good to be there.
It's funny, the guy at the place we got it from has been there for 20 years. basically the day they bought this truck new. He's been in it, they've used it. He says, why would you even buy this thing? This thing needs to go to the scrapyard. No, it doesn't. Maybe in his mind it needs to go to the scrapyard, but in our mind, we're gonna make quite a bit amount of profit off of this truck, whether we part it out or whether we get it going, knowing that the engine is reliable and running, and we send it on to the next buyer who's gonna use it for their business or whatever, because it does have low miles. The transmissions in these things, they don't go bad. Yeah. Unless you got a tuner on it and you got oversized wheels.
You're towing really heavy. I mean, it's a transmission, but it's a durable transmission.
They need a rebuild after a certain amount of miles and time. This transmission is better than the 4R100 that's in the 7.3s. Let's just put it that way. And then the 7.3 is a better motor than the 6-liter, but the 6-liter is better than the 7.3 when it's done right and fixed.
Yeah.
So no, they're not the worst engines ever created. The next generation, the 6.4, garbage.
Yeah.
If they're running, wonderful. They're when they work, they can pull a house down. We've owned 6.4s, they can pull a house down, but they're only made for 2 or 3 years, so by the time you need to find parts now in 2023, it's tough. It's been remanufactured 3 or 4 times, the same part you're looking for, and there's not much left parts-wise to get from from Ford itself. There is aftermarket solutions, but that's a story for another day. This truck's sitting here, $743 is what we paid, all said and done. We winched it onto the trailer. We can do one of two things. We can part the truck out, and we know that the tailgate is worth X amount of dollars. We know the doors are rust-free, they're worth X amount of dollars. We know the wheels
are worth
pretty decent tread on it with Firestone brand on the side. And then you get to the plow, and we know that the plow is, with the mount and the wire harness, is $1,500 to $2,000 as a set. Say, call it $1,000 on the low end. Like, the plow basically pays for the rest of the truck.
Yeah, and then like you could even look at it as bad as this bed looks from here. I mean, there's somebody out there killing to have this bed over the one that's falling off the truck. Yeah, and then they can, once this is off, they can put new cross members on it and put their fender flares on it, and we would sell it to them for a very reasonable price. You know, if somebody's trying to save money and they don't want to buy the $2,500 rust-free bed, they want to buy this one. Getting to our point is, so with this, well, we bought this today, obviously that was a big goal. But this is going to be our, going forward, this is technically our first official purchase under a new business. So we are starting a brand new LLC, which we already did the other day, last week, and we closed on a shop. Yeah, we closed on a shop, so we're going to be taking this whole thing to the next level and doing this a lot more. More frequently. Landscaping's going nowhere. We're still going to have our trucks and our setup, and we're going to be cutting grass next year, and we're going to be doing leaves and mulch and pavers. We're not plowing snow, so it's a good time for 4 months out of the year to really full-time this business. And why am I holding this light? Ironically, the shop that we are moving into has a bunch of lights that are out. And it looks like this place could be like the brightest place on earth if all the bulbs were in. And it just so happened that this truck came with bulbs. Now, I'm not sure if they work or not. The tag's on them, actually. This one is wrapped still. They all look, I don't know how you tell with these if you shake them and you listen. They all sound like they're new. So like if we can maybe, I don't know how expensive these are, pop a couple in, and it solves a couple of our lighting issues over at the new place. It's worth a shot. Fantastic. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say they don't work because someone probably threw them in here. But hey, there's still a tag on it, so we know that some of these, if not all, are brand new and they've been sitting in here. Maybe we'll get lucky. But so as we sit, we'll be covering a lot more of that, obviously, in some videos coming up, the new business. But it's big news. It's exciting stuff, and we're ready to get going. Landscaping's been my go-to since I could walk. It's gotten me this far in life, financially, whatever, how else we want to call it. It's helped me start a family. Jim's on board. Papa Zig is on board with landscaping, and now we opened up a new LLC. So we're gonna have a couple different businesses running. Make as much money as we can while we're young. Hopefully set us up for an early retirement to continue doing this, and to not be out in the field landscaping really late into our life. But the passion for landscaping is still there. It will always be. And
the business isn't going anywhere. So for most of you subscribers that are here for the landscaping content, it's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
But for you guys that are here for the fixing and the repairing, that's just getting started. We're nowhere near our potential on YouTube with the repair aspect of it, but it's up and coming. So stay tuned and definitely subscribe if you're new.
Yeah.
We know a lot of people that watch the videos, they pop up and they forget our channel name or something. Subscribe and you'll be notified every time we put a video out, which is, we're almost to the end of fall cleanups here, so Jim's gonna have a lot more time with the camera and with editing and stuff to be putting out more videos every week versus like we're doing I think 2 or 3 right now.
Yeah.
We might be able to get 5 or 6 cranked out in the wintertime. So definitely subscribe if you're new.
Yeah, and so buying stuff like this is cool because number one, it's something always different. It's always a different thing. There's no 2 trucks that are always the same, or anything, or mowers or anything. They're all a different story. But then we also get to learn a lot. We do this and we, you know, that's how we figured out how to work on 7.3s was by just doing it. And you know,
we never took a single class or any mechanics whatsoever. It was always hands-on from the day that we could actually use our hands when we were 3 or 4 years old, me and Jim. And then just learning as Dad had his own business and we were fixing all of his crap. And just learning by literally doing trial and error. He didn't have a mechanic. We were his mechanics growing up. In high school, we'd be fixing stuff after school and whatever, and it took it to the next level. Once I opened up the landscape business 10 years ago, and just every time something needs to be fixed, we don't drop anything off anywhere. Unless my wife's car needs to go in for warranty work, which, cross our fingers, it doesn't. Something that's covered financially, but we don't drop anything off. Even if, for example, we have our new Skag Windstorm aerator mower, if it needs a, what do you want to call it? If it needs a, say the front wheel falls off, or let's say the belt blows up and it's under warranty and the belt is 70 bucks. We're just going to go buy the belt for 70 bucks and put it on versus driving each way, dropping the machine off, the wait time and all that. We just don't have time for that. You got to count your time as money too.
Yeah.
We can ramble on forever and ever and ever, but here we are, 750 bucks. What do you guys think of the purchase?
Yeah, we'll be able to go through it and get it running right.
New place that we have has 3 lifts already installed in the garage, which is a huge plus to be able to just pick the vehicles up, do the brakes and whatever we have to do, brake lines and switch out tires.
Lift cabs and lift beds off or whatever.
We're no longer going to be limited by space in my driveway.
I'm tired of laying on my back and doing all that crap. Putting brake lines in, what a nightmare. Yeah.
But you got to start somewhere. Not everyone's going to have the access to a lift, and we're fortunate enough at this point, being able to save up money for all these years of just working, putting money away, saving everything, and we're in a good spot now. It's going to be in the next video or the video after that, right? Yeah,
it'll be coming up. Like,
contradictory to what you might think, starting a new business is a lot more work than just going and signing your name or clicking a button online or doing so. It's a lot more work. There's a lot more that goes into it, because this is now technically our 3rd business. If you want to count YouTube, that's 4. 3 or 4 businesses.
We have the dumpster business. The dumpster business, we are still waiting on the permits from the state. It takes a year to a year and a half, maybe sometimes more. That will be a thing. It is a thing, but that will actually be a legit business. It is a legit business. It will actually be, how am I trying to say this?
It's going to be a functional operation once we get up and going.
Probably within the next year or 2. I think we're on, what, month 10 now of waiting for the permits?
Yeah.
So, I mean, who knows? That could come in the next 2 months.
Yeah.
The new business, this new business, we'll tell you what it's called when we move into the new place. I mean, meet with your accountant, meet with your bank. Insurance, credit card, bank account, EIN number, register with the state. There's a lot more to it than saying, hey, I just want to start my own business. That's where a lot of guys around here are those cash guys underbidding everyone for $20 and they're working for cash and trying to run everyone out of town, but they'll always be there. That's how I like to think of it. They'll always be there and they're always going to cycle through.
Yeah.
The real deal people driving around town, you know who they are. They've been established for over 20, 30, 40 years and they're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And neither are we, and we're very excited for our new business
endeavor.
Venture.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think of this purchase.
Look at it, it came with a tow hitch. Free tow hitch.
Yeah.
Probably stuck in there though.
It's got the pin's not even in, which means they tried to take it out.
Yeah.
it's going to be so stuck we can get the truck running and drive it away from a tree and it still won't come out.
Yeah, it'll break the tow hitch.
Yeah, we'll just leave that.
Yeah, but anyways.
All right, that'll wrap the video up.
Everybody have a good day,
Yeah,
and thanks for watching.
See you next one.